Okay, students, I have the table router set up to make the grooves in your drawer sides for the drawer bottom. I've set up a 1/2 inch straight groove bit, not a 1/2 inch, my apologies, 1/4 inch straight groove router bit. The reason it's 1/4 inch is because the drawer bottom, when we go to cut that out, is going to be cut out of a 1/4 inch panel stock. I also have the elevation, which you can see there, of the bit a 1/4 inch deep, which is going to go half the thickness through your drawer sides. Your drawer sides are 1/2 inch and the groove's going to be 1/4 inch deep. I tested it out on a piece of scrap, so I just cut in a little ways to check to make sure my depth and thickness are correct. So it actually, since it's a 1/4 inch bit, a 1/4 deep, that little groove should be shaped like a square, and it is. I do have some guidelines in pencil set up on the router table, so I know where I want to set that bit. So I'm gonna go grab a drawer front that I was working on. So this may be where you left off at, because there's a whole pile of them on the floor over here. I was gonna put those away for you, and some of you did label them, but names aren't always clear on pieces and lockers at the same time. So you might want to think about how you're trying to identify your stuff. Had a little squeeze out there. I'm gonna rub that off. These have been in the clamps for 1/2 an hour. Ideally, it should be overnight, but I think they're set up well enough for my demonstration. Now, before I do all this, I'm gonna double check my drawer fit up, so we'll do a little review on that. If you remember, you have 5 drawer pieces. You have the 2 pieces of your front glued together, your 10.5 and your 11.5. You also have your 10.5 in the back and your 2 9.5 sides, and you can size that all up on your top shelf, which this fits a little snug, but it's gonna fit. I may need to trim that a little bit. I think it fits okay in the actual opening. So let me do that real quick. I may regret this because it might get stuck in there, or I may need to go trim that on the saw. We'll check the sides. Look good. Those actually go all the way to the back. Now that one's tight too, so there may be some unevenness because of things not always being square when they're glued together. Let's check my drawer front. So I will need to do some trimming of my size. Drawer front fits in there good. The back fits in there tight, and the sides fit in there tight because things are a little uneven. So I do need to trim those a little bit, but I should still be able to go do my groove. Let me just lay out my drawer on the table to make sure it looks like a drawer. Okay, so all the pieces are there. They do fit together. I do need to rip them a little narrower to fit inside there, so I will have to remember to do that before I glue things up. Actually, I think I'll do that really quick right now because the table saw is set up. It was at 3 3/4. I'm going to drop that down 1/8. I don't think I'll do the drawer front. That seemed okay. I'm just going to do the 2 sides and the back, and I'm doing this because I want you to understand you do have to trim every now and then and make some modifications. Do this real quick. Go check these again. I'm going to drop that one on the floor. Doggone it. Okay. Drawer faces on the table saw. I was okay with that. Make sure the drawer back's going to slide in there. Oh yeah. That's good. Actually falls over now. Make sure the 2 sides are going to slide in there. That one's good. And that one's going to be good. So let's go back to the table router with our 4 drawer sides. Got these. I got that. And I may take a push stick with me. It's a very small cut, smaller than your finger, and it's also one that doesn't come through the table, so you should be fairly safe with this. So you should be able to push it through, and the bit will not be near your hand. Don't have your hand behind it, have it up on the edge pushing down. Okay, let's take these over the table and look at them. All right, so we have a groove towards the bottom edge on our 4 drawer pieces. And if we set them up, you'll see that groove running inside, and that's going to enable us to have a drawer bottom that will float in there. So when we create the drawer bottom, we want it to float. We're not going to glue it in. We glue the corners. Next time, we'll look at the dimensions of the drawer bottom and how to create that.